Hi everybody, it's Wendy Smythe here and hubby Dave Smythe, and we're on the next video of Be, Do, Learn, Have, Live. And Dave was just going to be finishing a really key point of Mary Morrissey, talking about what impact she made on his life actually, so I'll let you just do that.
Yeah, finishing off, I'm just getting into this. Oh, this is good stuff. Actually, this is probably the real big kicker for the learning, the education, and the actual the becoming of who I am and ultimately who we are right now. So I got on this Dream Builder course and it was absolutely awesome. I followed this online. I watched the videos weekly. I did the homework that went along with it. And the biggest takeaway that I got from this course, because there's a whole lot of information, I'm not going into all of that, but the biggest thing about this course and this Dream Builder program was it says that it's important for you to dream. And I'm going, okay, dream, what's that? I actually got frustrated that one night because I was thinking for a long time going, wow, when was the last time that I actually dreamt of doing anything?
Can I jump in there? And the reason why is that in school, and generally when we get out of past 5, we're taught not to daydream. We're taught to buckle down and just get on and do the work, and not to even start looking out the window or even being distracted by anything. So that's why most people's dreams die at about 5 or 6, because they're not encouraged anymore. Back to you.
That's right. So at this point, I'm kind of realizing, wow, okay, I'm like, I don't know, geez, I must have been, was I 40 at that point? I don't know. Geez, I'm terrible with my own age. But somewhere along there, 44, okay. So I use Wendy as an age detector for me. But it was that I'd looked at that period of time and thought, wow, up to all this point, I've been working all these years doing all this stuff, and I haven't actually been following a dream. There's been nothing in my mind to say where I'm going. I'm just blindly kind of doing one of these things. And when I have a great big growth spurt or something massive changes for the better, it's because I've actually had that decision, that focus on that one thing at that point. So anyway, going through this program, I finally figured it out and go, okay, geez, the last thing I kind of remember even vaguely dreaming about was actually going into space. I remembered watching Buck Rogers and Star Trek and Star Wars and all these things as a kid, and I'm like, wow, you know what? I mean, not that I necessarily envisioned myself going out in space and blowing people up and stuff like that, but just going out in space and being an adventurer and traveling amongst the stars. And I'm like, wow, okay, why not? Why not choose going into space as my dream? And when I kind of realized that, I thought, okay, this is awesome. And then the whole stupid thing is, I back in here, it clicks in and says, just a sec, that's actually a probability now. Because again, my mind logically says I've seen and heard that Sir Richard Branson has got his Virgin group has done Virgin Galactic, and they've started building this space program, whatever. I really knew nothing about it, but I knew in my head that there was this start going on. So I actually then had a quick look into it, and I thought, oh wow, okay, this is potentially going to be happening within the next couple of years. There's been some delays on it, there's been whatever, and there's even a few other players out there trying to get into the space race for, commercially. And I'm thinking, oh, this is amazing. Okay, so this is now a dream that I have that can be a reality. I'm like, this is amazing. Okay, thank you, Mary Morrissey. And with that kind of finished through. Now, just after getting that spot, I was going through a program, loving it, kind of, getting my way through and following a lot of this stuff with that dream in mind. And then I'd ended up, just for whatever reason, catching another Facebook feed that came across my mind it was New Peaks at that point. And it was for a program called the MMI, the Millionaire Mind Intensive,
yeah.
which was originally set up from T. Harv Eker and it's been one of his like signature programs. Well, I did not know that at the point. All I saw was this thing came across that, hey, learn how to think like a millionaire, or learn what the differences are thinking like a normal person and a millionaire. And oh, by the way, this is in Ottawa. It's like, oh great, I live in Ottawa. Nothing ever comes to Ottawa, so hey, I should go to this. And it turned out to be just a few weeks away. So I registered, signed up for this particular course. And I thought, okay, and one of my reasons for one, it came to Ottawa too, it just seemed to be in front of my face at the right time, you know, the universe speaking to me. But it was also that fact going, well, geez, at this point, I'm still relatively broke. You know, my future is not looking super great from how I'm currently saving money. I obviously haven't learned how to do that yet. So is it going to hurt me to learn about how millionaires think and all that? So I figured, okay, great, sign me up. And I ended up...
Well, just to jump in there, Dave's mindset was already in a much further along place than me in respect of personal development. And when the opportunity came for me to go to the MMI, I was not interested at all. To me, it's just a waste of a weekend, and I was resentful just having him even go somewhere for a weekend without me. But at the same time, I didn't want to go. Shows how I was thinking at the time. Kick myself now, but other things. That's the way it rolled then. So and things have adjusted along the line since then. So that's just my little input there.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, this is back in October of 2016. So I was still carrying on with Mary Morrissey's online course. I'd gone to this weekend because one of my other dream goal things there was just about Teslas. They were cropping in my mind. And it turned out, I think on day 2 or something, I happened to see someone pull up in the car park for this event with a Tesla. I'm like, oh, that's amazing, okay. But at that point, I didn't actually have the guts or the mental ability or the confidence, whatever, to go up and say, hey, do you mind if I just poke my head in your car and have a look, which would have been an awesome opportunity because I ended up spending time with these people over the course of the next couple of days. But yeah, they were long days at this event. I can't go into what we kind of covered, a lot of stuff, but there were a few physical, mental breakthroughs. There was a lot of oh man, they picked me up like this and they went and I was completely shaken over. I was mentally disturbed. I was physically shaken up. I was put in probably more difficult comfort zone breaking environments than I'd been smashed up with for forever. At that point. It was insane, and I can't believe physically how much I changed and mentally how much I changed over that 3-day event. It was unreal for me. It is a different impact on everybody, but from what I've gathered, I think most people who go through it get some huge learnings out of it. And that was certainly no different. I got to learn a few different ways of how to think about money. And of course, I also managed to sign myself up to a barrage of courses that they had going on, which was basically set to run for like the next potentially 2 years to get these courses sorted out.
That's called the Quantum Leap program?
The Quantum Leap was what I signed up for at that point. Well, actually, I signed up for probably the first program they offered, and then the second program they offered, and then the third, and at the end of the course I ended up having to go back and tear up all these bits of papers and cross-sign them and sign up for this quantum one, which sort of included all these. It was mentally kind of challenging going, oh man, I'm signing up for these things. Going, it's not like I'm used to spending a whole lot of money, realistically.
But it was mentally challenging because he had to come home and tell me that he spent $10,000 US on courses that, as far as I was concerned at that point, a waste of money. And I'm kicking myself now for saying, for thinking that then. But again, as I said earlier, you're always growing and learning, and that was how my mind was thinking at that point. And I was very annoyed, actually. I was really annoyed that he'd spent that money. I'm like, that's our retirement money you're spending, and I was pretty pissed.
Yeah, so basically at this point, I was because we'd already spent the 30,000 US or 35,000 or whatever it was Canadian that we'd end up spending on the the Robert Kiyosaki courses, which didn't seem to produce any fruits. It was just you know, a couple of weekends away, and you know, a lot of money that seemed to just go down the drain, and was going nowhere. Now I've just spent another, you know, $10 or more $1,000 on other courses here, and this money is literally coming out of our line of credit equity, right? I mean, well, it's not like I'm a business owner, but I'm not making money.
No.
Even though the business is growing and doing better, I'm not making money here. In fact, I may just about have been the most. Actually, no, I don't even think so. At that point, that I probably wasn't even getting paid the most in the business.
No, probably not.
Which has been how it's been for forever, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're taking money out of savings, line of credits, you name it, all the things that you're not supposed to do. Well, I mean, Wendy, pretty much for the most part, has her head in the sand. She just like hears that I'm spending all this money and going, well, where is it coming from? And so, you know, I've just invested a whole lot of money on this Quantum Leap program. And
but you did learn something really good at the MMI, was about the JAR system, which they will probably explain in another video coming up, which is a great way of figuring out where to put your money. And yeah, basically just the allocation of where your money actually goes and how you can use it. So, but time wise, we're looking good. So
that's right. So we'll wrap this video up and get on to the next, and maybe we'll explain the JAR system in the next. But anyway, with that, thank you.
See
We'll
ya.
see you on the next video.
Bye.